Welcome to the premiere of Homefront, a monthly program produced by the Commission on Veterans Affairs and devoted to topics and services for vets and their families in Montgomery County. I'm Mike Subin, and our first guest is a Vietnam veteran who created the county's Commission on Veterans Affairs, County Executive Ike Leggett. Good morning, Mr. Leggett.
Good morning, Mike. How are you doing today?
Doing good, thank you, and yourself. Mr. Leggett, shortly after you took office, you created the Commission on Veterans Affairs. What was the impetus that got you to do that?
Well, first, as you've indicated, I am a veteran, but it wasn't just because I was a veteran, but because in the metropolitan area, and particularly in Montgomery County, we have large numbers of veterans and their families. And I thought that there were a number of services and programs out there, some at the state and federal level, that were designed to help veterans. But I found that there were far too many that were falling between the cracks, not receiving the services and not getting the honor and respect that I think that they really deserve. So I thought it would be appropriate for us at a local level to have a commission with the mission and with the goal of trying to assist those veterans and their families, bringing recognition for their service, thanking them appropriately, and to make certain that we provide for them the kinds of services and programs that would make their lives much better.
Did your experiences in Vietnam have any bearing on that?
Well, my experience in the military overall, and certainly my experience in Vietnam, gave me an insight in terms of how veterans were treated. And you may have realized that that veterans returning from Vietnam were not welcomed with open arms and not the fanfare that we've seen in many other conflicts that we've had. They were shunned. In many ways, they were disrespected. You could have a difference about policy. You address that with the policy makers. But you should always respect the veterans because they are doing the job that they've been assigned to do. And I thought that it was simply unfair for many to take their anger, their disagreement about the war out on the veterans, the soldier, as opposed to dealing those policy situations in an arena that was separate and apart from the soldier. You could disrespect the people who are making the policy, you could disagree, but you should respect the veterans for doing their jobs. And I thought that Vietnam era veterans were particularly singled out in a way that I thought was disrespectful.
And that attitude, that situation has had a profound effect, even today,
Certainly,
as you deal with the veterans from Vietnam. This past Veterans Day, you dedicated an eternal flame that is located between the Executive Office Building and the Circuit Courthouse and is visible from Route 28, East Jefferson. How significant was that for you?
That's very significant because an awful lot of people, I think, in this community have forgotten the number of lives that have been lost. They've forgotten the impact on the families that are still here and the sacrifices that the families and those veterans and many others have made in protecting the liberties of our community and our country. And so I wanted Montgomery County to be clearly visible, Montgomery County to be on record of recognizing that, and I could not have thought a more appropriate place than right at the very seat of government in Montgomery County, between the judiciary on one side, the executive branch, and just across the street from our legislative branch. I think it was an appropriate symbol. And by the way, I want to thank you personally for the role that you played in helping to make that possible.
Well, Mr. Leggett, you have been fantastic as far as veterans are concerned, and we all look up to you for that.
Thank you.
And speaking of the commission, what influence has the commission had on you and specific issues and how you address those?
Well, first of all, I'm not knowledgeable about all the issues in Montgomery County, although I've been around for a while. I'm not knowledgeable about all the issues that impact veterans. I have some knowledge about some things. I have a feeling about some. But having a commission, that commission provides expertise. It has a number of veterans who serve on the commission. It has people with the ability to recognize the challenges that I and other facets of government may not recognize. So the commission is in fact an arm for which they advise the county council, the county executive, provide appropriate recognition for our community as it relates to veterans, provide services and programs, and fill in the gaps where government and other sources may not be able to fill in. So they really play a significant role, and I'm dedicated, the county is dedicated to all of those who've served and continue to serve us in ways that provide the leadership, the insight, the expertise, and the connectivity with all the programs around, and as a voice and an advocacy for veterans.
Homelessness.
Yes.
A terrible situation for a lot of veterans.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing about that? How are we addressing it?
Well, first of all, I want and believe that we have the capacity to eliminate veterans' homelessness. It's really a despicable sight to see a veteran sleeping on a grate in the cold of night, unemployed, separated from their families, not having the services and programs to assist them. This is really a tragedy. Keep in mind, we're talking here about veterans, people who help to make our country safe, people who have provided us with the ability to afford all of the liberties that we have today. Yet and still, many of them are gone abroad. They've fought for this country and now cannot have decent housing within this country. Now, there are many reasons as to why that happened, but whatever the reason may be, I think we owe it to those veterans to do everything within our reason to try to find them homes and to provide them shelter, which they so richly deserve. I think that we have the capacity, working with people like Congressman Van Hollen and others, to really end veterans' homelessness. And Van Hollen, for example, and Senator Cardin have played a measurable role in getting vouchers for veterans. We work with our shelters within the community, with the programs that we have, and one of the goals and missions that I have is to end veterans' homelessness in Montgomery County.
And you have been a very active partner with them in getting those vouchers from
Yes.
HUD. Employment.
Yep.
Another issue.
Yeah.
What have we done in the county to address that?
Well, a number of things we've done, working through the commission, working with members of the county council, and working with employers around the area. We've tried, for example, to make sure that we identify veterans in procurement process, working with the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. They have an outstanding programs of hiring and making certain that the contract services are available to veterans, and also to make sure that they are prepared to participate in the contracting process within the community. Also, there are a number of veterans who are disabled, a number of veterans who have challenges and difficulties of competing through the normal process for merit jobs within the county. We passed legislation last year that will provide those veterans at least with a better opportunity to compete for those jobs, so that they are now in a position, contrary to previous county law, to find some levels of preferences that give them an opportunity to fairly compete for those laws. It was something that the entire community embraced. Veterans will benefit as a result of that, and I think that we can provide opportunities, working with Montgomery College, for example, working with the University of Maryland, University College, to ensure that they get the training, they get the expertise that is needed, and they have the opportunity to prepare for the jobs, and they have the preferences within places like Montgomery County, and working with places like the organizations such as Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce, that veterans have a better opportunity to get jobs. It's not all veterans will find the opportunity successful for them. There are some that may not fit within the challenges that we have and overcome some of the challenges, but we can make a significant dent in this. And if all jurisdictions, all the municipalities around and all the businesses embrace that, then I think that we can go a very, very long ways in finding the jobs and opportunities for veterans to work. Because these are people who have skills. They need to be redirected. They need maybe some training and certification to get over that hump. But they're very dedicated, loyal people who in fact can make a great deal of difference to any business and organization.
And we're seeing a big problem among reservists and National Guard today who are being deployed, coming home, being deployed, coming home.
Yeah, that disruption has a disruption on their families, on their work, on the certification, on the training that they need. And keep in mind, the training, certification, even in places of technology. They change so fast.
Especially technology.
You're deployed for a period of time. You have to come back to get retrained.
Everything's changed.
Yeah,
it's all changed, and you're no longer prepared.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, you raised the issue of Montgomery College and University of Maryland and universities of Shady Grove, which are here. You established a partnership with the University of Shady Grove, Montgomery College, Senator Cardin, Congressman Van Hollen, for getting the word out. Again, what got you to do that?
Well, first of all, as I indicated earlier, many veterans need that additional certification. They need to go back to school. In some cases, they want to go back to school. But it's hard to do so when you have families, when you have sometimes disabilities or challenges to overcome. It's hard to fit it within your work schedule. You need special counseling. Many have suffered some very traumatic experiences. So you need to develop programs that I think are more sensitive to the challenges that veterans face. And so what we did in terms of working with these various institutions is to find ways to break down some of those barriers, to find the counseling that they need, to find the resources that they need in order for them to continue their education as best as possible without being seriously disruptive. And the University of Shady Grove, Montgomery College, University of Maryland, and others have all joined in efforts to try to make it much more accommodating for veterans. And so what it's designed to do is to better accommodate the veterans in their educational experience, which is different, say, for example, than someone who is going through school uninterrupted and may not face all of those challenges that a veteran would face.
You declared 2015 as the year of the veteran and their families. As a veteran, especially as a combat veteran, what do you see not only the role of families, but their relationship with the veterans and the needs of that whole family?
Well, we brought attention to it by naming 2015 as the year of the veteran, but every year should be the year of veterans, because I don't think that we have paid them with the level of respect and honor that they deserve. But it was designed to bring a special attention at a time, and sometimes you have to do things that would highlight the challenges and difficulties veterans face, and to bring all of those resources to bear at a single time, a single point, so that people will get the message. You bring greater publicity and awareness to it. The awareness of not only the veteran, but the family, what they suffer, what they go through, the challenge that we've just talked about in terms of employment, the challenge that we've talked about in terms of finding housing for veterans. Sometimes all of these things are wonderful, but they are disparate, and you have no central focal point about it. So by having the Year of the Veteran, we are able to bring many of those things together on the one time frame.
Thank you, Mr. Leggett, and that is why you are known among the veterans as Mr. Veteran in Montgomery County. This is going to be a monthly show, and we hope that you will be our guest again several times.
So. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. Well, that's it for this month's Homefront. Don't forget that you can access information about county services for veterans by going to the county website or by calling the Commission staff liaison at 240-777-1256. I'm Mike Subin. Thanks for watching.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls: 311. MC 311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.